You want some more? And we're lost in the Twilight Hole!
Hello fellow gamers, Drezelfell here with the next new player tutorial video for the game of Malifaux. In the first couple of videos we learned a little bit about the basic mechanics of card flipping, and in this video we're going to talk about the first way to modify a card flip using a game mechanic called the twist. So, what is a twist? To learn about this technique, we're going to take a look at an actual model statistic card. Here's the card for an Ice Gammon. I'm going to zoom in here on a special action called Statue. And in the description for Statue, first of all it says reduce this model's defense to 1. That's combat terminology, not something we're going to talk about in this video. But then after that it says damage flips against this model receive. And then there are two funny looking little symbols that look like white playing cards with a minus sign on them. The way that actually reads is, it says damage flips against this model receive a double negative twist. Obviously something that's going to reduce the value of my card flip. So how does that work? Let's take a look. Here's my deck of cards, and from the very first video we already know how to make a damage flip. All we're trying to do is generate a random number. So we go ahead and flip a card. So far it's a pretty good damage flip. I got a Queen, which has a value of 12 in a Malifaux Fate deck, so at this point I'm doing severe damage against my enemy model. But now I need to apply my double negative twist. First of all, because it's a double twist, there were two small card symbols. That means I'm going to flip two more cards. There's one, and there's two. Next, because it's a negative twist, out of the two extra cards that I flipped, or out of all three cards that have now been flipped, I take the card with the lowest value, and that's what I'm going to count for my damage flip. So where I started off with an original damage flip of a Queen, once I make my double negative twist, my damage is now a 2, which is only a weak damage against the enemy model. Not so good. So we can see that in this case, the statue ability of the Ice Gammon was pretty effective in protecting it. There's also a positive twist. If you have a flip that you need to do and you see a symbol associated with it, it would be a small black card with a plus sign on it. That means you can apply a positive twist. An example of a positive twist is if you use a charge attack against an enemy and you successfully make a hit, you get to do a single positive twist. So let's see an example of that. Here's my deck of cards. I'm going to go ahead and make my damage flip. It's only a 5. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's moderate damage. But now I get to apply a single positive twist. Because it's a single twist, that means I flip one extra card. I get a 10. And because it's a positive twist, it means I take the higher of the values. And my new damage flip is a 10 instead of a 5. Twists are, they are stackable. All you do is you simply add up the total value of the twists. For example, if we looked at an enemy that charged against an Ice Gammon that had Statue applied to it, you would take the negative double twist from Statue. To that you would add the single positive twist, and the net result of that would be a single negative twist against the Gammon. So what I would do is if I charged against a Gammon, I would flip two cards, and then I would take the lower of the two values. When you do a twist, the total net result can't be any greater than a positive 3 or a negative 3. So that's the first way that we see that we're beginning to modify card flips in the game of Malifaux. In the next video we'll so far everything's been random up to this point, but in the next video we'll start to see how we can use the control hand to put a little bit of control into the results of our card flips. So again, I hope you learned something. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you in the next video.